13 Action News starts now.
More changes may be coming to your child's education.
Oh, there is a new push in the state of Ohio to ban diversity, equity, and inclusion in public schools. And now some Ohio teachers are speaking out, saying the change would censor education. In the big story today, 13 Action News anchor Josh Krupp is live breaking down the bills and what they would change in schools. We also asked a local school district about how this push to ban DEI would impact classes. Plus, we have an update on how colleges and universities around the country are coping with the DEI changes. Diversity, equity, and inclusion in schools is the big story today.
Ohio lawmakers banned DEI practices on college campuses earlier this year.
Now, some of those same lawmakers are now working to apply similar laws to K through 12 schools.
13 Action News anchor Josh Krupp explains what the bills would do. Josh.
And Tony, there are identical bills right now in the committee process in the House and Senate. They would prohibit DEI programs and offices in Ohio's K through 12 public schools. They would ban DEI training courses, existing DEI offices or departments, and the use of DEI language in job descriptions. Under the bills, schools can't just replace DEI offices or positions with ones that have different titles, but really serve a similar purpose. They have to eliminate them altogether. The bill also requires districts to have a complaint process where parents, students, or employees can report violations. Districts would have 90 days to get in compliance if the bill gets signed.
Get back to educating our students instead of trying to indoctrinate them to where they're going to have empathy for other individuals based on sexual orientation or race. All we're doing a lot of times is just reinforcing racial stereotypes by trying to teach kids that you're born oppressed or an oppressor based on the color of your skin.
Conservative groups like the Family Research Council at Ohio Christian Education Network have come out in support of the bill. Only proponent hearings so far. No testimony from opponents has been formally heard. This is still early in the committee process, Tony, in the House and Senate.
Josh Krupp reporting live for us this afternoon. From there, let's focus on the support these bills are receiving right now. Several organizations have already come out in support of the bills. We just told you about two. Another organization is the Protect Ohio Children Coalition. It's a statewide volunteer organization that monitors schools and school boards across the Buckeye State. The group testified before the Ohio Senate Committee on Education this past March. And in a written statement to lawmakers, the program director pushes for the end of whole child social emotional learning, saying, quote, SEL is really a scam, a Trojan horse, and a vehicle to bring diversity, equity, and inclusion and an extremely harmful and perverse sexual agenda into Ohio's classrooms. They add that the removal of social emotional learning is urgently needed and it should be eradicated in every school district.
Organizations against the bill say if passed, the bills would censor school districts. The Honesty for Ohio Education Coalition is moving to stop the diversity ban bills. The group says the bills are incredibly broad and include no definitions of terms such as diversity, equity, or inclusion. They say this could lead to overcompliance by Ohio school districts, and some educators could feel obligated to avoid certain topics or perspectives. Now, in a press conference just last month, advocates for stopping the ban say they're worried about what these bills would do to the quality of education.
We are committed to supporting high quality education. A high quality education that is characterized by critical thinking, taking multiple perspectives, doing the rich analysis that supports academic rigor. One of our major concerns with Senate Bill 113 and House Bill 155 is that in their limiting diversity, equity, and inclusion, and discussions focused on supporting those multiple perspectives, we know that we're concerned that it will undermine what a quality education provides.
The coalition is asking Ohioans to reach out to their local school boards and state lawmakers and push for stoppage of these bills.
The 13 Action News I-team reached out to one local school district asking how these bills would impact its classrooms. And in a statement, its Toledo Public Schools spokesperson tells us they are committed to fostering and welcoming an inclusive learning environment for all students, adding that the district will comply with the provisions outlined in OH House 155 and OH Senate 113, while continuing to follow the similar federal mandates that were put in place earlier this year.
Now, these Ohio bills come just months after President Trump threatened to cut federal funding for K-12 schools who are engaging in diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. In a letter to state leaders back in April, the U.S. Education Department said Title I funding, which is targeted to schools that have more low-income students, would be threatened if schools did not end their DEI practices. Now, at the time, schools and state leaders were required to sign a certification letter and return it to the department within 10 days. Proving that they are complying with that directive. Now, for now, enforcement of the directive is actually on hold because there's a legal battle playing out in court.
The Trump administration is also making changes this year to DEI practices at colleges and universities. In a letter sent to universities earlier this year, the Trump administration told universities to end all discriminatory practices that exist under the banner of DEI or lose funding. At that same time, Ohio lawmakers were working to pass Senate Bill 1. A measure that bans DEI in higher education. That bill went into effect this past June, causing many universities to have to reevaluate their DEI policies here in Ohio. In a statement, BGSU tells our I-Team the campus will undergo some organizational changes to ensure compliance, but adds that it remains committed to academic freedom and shared governance.
Well, changes also being made at Michigan University. School leaders at Michigan State are making changes to the DEI policy. In fact, there was an internal memo sent to some senior staff over the summer, and it directed them to stop using DEI statements in things like job postings, employee evaluations, promotions, and other hiring practices. Riley Connell explains why the memo had some professors worried.
I am one person, but my job is very big.
Michigan State University Associate Professor Jamie Allen says diversity plays an important role in her job, which includes training the healthcare workers of the future.
So I recognize that it is vital for me to be surrounded by people who look different than me, who have different lived experiences than me, so that I can enrich my teaching to train our future healthcare providers to provide the best medicine and the best healthcare for patients all over the state and all over the nation.
Allen is concerned that same commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion by educational institutions may be wavering. This memo, recently sent to some MSU leadership, directs them to stop using DEI statements in job postings, employee evaluations, promotions, and other hiring practices. The letter explains the changes being made to try and uphold MSU's mission while complying with federal requirements.
It is quite unnerving.
Allen isn't sure what this means for the university moving forward. She knows she can only speak for herself when she says,
"This reinforces my goals and my mission, and it reinforces the direction that I personally am headed in as a faculty member."